We're going to new dimensions, fighting hordes of mobs, and grabbing a ton of loot on our journey to make the All the Mods star in just 100 days. On our last episode, Bonnie and I finally found our first piece of allthemodium. This was crucial for our mission and will lead us into new dimensions with sweet, sweet loot. On this episode, we start on the morning of day 5. Bonnie, are you ready? Did you just shake your head yes? All right, we gotta go. Why does it say day 6 when it just said day 5? Before we teleport to that new dimension, we need to make some preparations first. We're going to need a lot more storage space. So I'm gonna upgrade the extra backpack that we found from last episode all the way to diamond. We're gonna need all of this space for the loot, I promise. With that taken care of, it's time to make the jump to the new dimension using the teleport pad. Bruh. I know this dimension is rather flat, but I promise you this place is amazing. This is the mining dimension. In all the mods, this is a special dimension that has custom ore generation. It also comes with 3 different layers. One for the overworld ores, one for nether ores, and one for the end ores. On top of that, mobs do not spawn here, so it's the perfect place for keeping our base safe. And that is exactly why I'm here. I'm going to use this backpack to mark the spot that we want to build our new base in, and then it's time to start moving everything over. To make it easy to move all of our chests, we're going to make something called cardboard boxes. To make these, we'll first need a pulverizer. Then we want to place it down wherever it can get power, then throw in some logs to crush them down into sawdust. With these, we can make the boxes. Now all we have to do is right-click on the chest with the boxes and then break them and pick them up. After grabbing the rest of my setup, I think that's everything, it was time to move everything into the new place. I spent the rest of day 5 organizing the chests and setting up auto smelting in our furnace, as well as making 2x2 drawers for our tree farms with the botany pots. I couldn't believe the day was passing this fast and wanted to make sure that the day counter in the top left was right. Hitting F3, this will show you exactly what day it's on, so that way it clears up any confusion. I just wanted to take a second to say thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're enjoying it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I also have some super exciting news. If you're looking to host your own servers and play something like all the mods or pretty much any mod pack, I am now partnered with AlfredGG. You can get 20% off of your first month using code AlfredGG or by using my link in the description below. If you guys are interested in hosting your own servers and want to support the channel further, make sure to check them out. Back to the video. After making some more food, I realized that we're going to be in different dimensions, so it was time to upgrade our binding card in the player transmitter. We need to find an Enderman to upgrade this card. Heading back to the overworld, I began my search for an Enderman. After just a little bit of time, I remembered we had Enderman spawn eggs. Now you might be thinking just to summon one in, kill it, and get the loot from it. That's not how we're going to do things. Instead, we're going to just make an Enderman spawner. And to do this, that means we've got to find a spawner. So it's time to head back into the mines. Right as soon as I fly in, I start getting hit by some cave spiders, which tells me that there has to be a spawner nearby. Using the cardboard boxes, I can easily place this on the spawner and break it for later use. Bonnie, why do you always get in the way? The chest underneath was also amazing. Oh my god! Now I need a place to use the spawner, and I thought maybe we could use the inside of our ship. So I started breaking up all the lights inside of it, and then it dawned on me that this is only 2 blocks high. So Enderman can't even spawn here. That's fine. We'll just go make a hole inside of the caves. Once we have a hole that's nice and dark, all I need to do is place down that cardboard box that has the spawner in it and sneak right click to take it off. Using our Enderman spawn egg, we can just right click on the spawner and it will convert the spawner to an Enderman spawner. The first one spawns and immediately tries to make an escape. I almost kill him, but then I remember that I need to upgrade my binding card. Just like how we did with that aerial pearl to the zombie last episode, all we need to do is right click the Enderman with the card and it will upgrade it. Now it's time to kill a few more Endermen, so hopefully we get at least 1 Ender pearl. Then it's back to base to gather a few more items and place in our dimensional binding card. Now it's time for us to build a nether portal so we can get to the next dimension that's added by all the mods. To do that, we'll need to make 1 more teleport pad, which is exactly why we need to get another ender pearl. Heading through our newly built nether portal, there was a nether fortress right across the lava lake, but we're only going to be here for like a second, so it doesn't really matter. Well, that's kind of lucky, isn't it? Oh, all we got to do is place down the teleport pad here and sneak right click it with an empty hand. And this will teleport us to a new dimension called the Other. This dimension is home to several dungeons and the ultimate boss of all the mods, the Piglich. We're not going to be fighting him today, but we're definitely going to check out some of the other dungeons for loot. When we spawn in, we spawn at the base of a beautiful open cave, but we need to make our way up to the surface. As soon as we make it up, it's time to fight. The Other is super dangerous if you aren't prepared. There's blazes, wither skeletons, and enderman spawns everywhere here. My goal is to get a few more ender pearls and some blaze rods, which means there is a lot of fighting that we've got to do. Now that I'm safe in my base, I decided to clean up my inventory and get ready to go mining. The mining dimension is filled with ores, but most importantly, it has a ton of allthemodium. Instead of just spending hours mining trying to find some, we're going to take those ender pearls and blaze rods to make special potions that will highlight the ore for us through the walls. Think X-ray potions, because that's exactly what these do. And to make these potions, we're going to need to make a mortar and pestle from the mod potions master. With this, we want to grind up some ender pearls to make ender powder. Then using that dust, we'll add in an allthemodium ingot to make allthemodium powder. We'll throw this into our furnace to smelt down, and I also want to make a potion to help us find netherite. So I'll need to smelt down some ancient debris as well. With these smelting, I'm gonna go ahead and get the brewing stand ready. We'll light it up with some blaze powder, then it's time to make some bottles of water. Since this dimension is kind of flat and has no water, I decided to make a sink for an easy infinite water solution. Our bottles of water are ready to go, so we start by making some mundane potions using redstone. Once this is done, we throw in our smelted allthemodium powder and wait for it to brew up. This brew makes us allthemodium site potions. Now I want to make the same brew for netherite site potions, and it's time to go mining. So to find allthemodium in the mining dimension, you need to head to at least the deep slate layer. Once I'm there, I take a swig of my site potion, and man, allthemodium is everywhere here. My goal is to get enough for at least a pickaxe, but a few extra doesn't hurt either. Buddy. All right, come over here. Come here, boy. Sit. It's time to chug down the netherite site potion and head to the netherrack layer. We need to get enough ancient debris for at least 4 pieces of netherite. So I quickly mine up everything, fix my lighting settings because I thought it was a little too dark, and head back home. And wouldn't you know it, it's daytime out here now. Right as soon as I fixed my lighting settings too. I went ahead and threw in my ancient debris into the furnace to get that smelted down, and I break my allthemodium ore down into dust using the hammer, so that way we get 2 times as much. And I went ahead and threw that in as well so it can get smelted down. With our 4 ingots of allthemodium and netherite, we can make a structure compass. Just like the nature's compass, this will allow you to search up structures and point us in the right direction for them. We'll use this to go to one of the dungeons in the Other. But first, we need to make a better weapon. We can't fight anything unless we have some kind of weapon to kill it with. And I'm sorry, but this sword just isn't cutting it. Thankfully, we have just enough allthemodium, so I've decided to make myself a pickaxe and a sword, and it was time to go. All right, buddy, it's time to go on an adventure. Are you ready to go with me? Let's do this. Heading back to the Other, we use our structure compass to search for an allthemodium dungeon. Buddy decided to join us this time, but he can't fly, so he'll be all right. He's a moose. As I'm flying in the direction of the dungeon, the compass said it was another 400 blocks away, but I started to see a structure loading in. This is the allthemodium dungeon we were looking for. This place is super dangerous, with tons of spawners spinning out mobs as fast as they can. But I have a few tricks up my sleeve. If you fly to the top of the pillars, you'll find 4 blocks of diamonds at the top of each. That's also when I realized I didn't have a helmet, so I make an osmium one really quick and get ready to fight. Breaking away the outside of the pillar, there are spawners all over. I need to break them because in the middle of the pillar, there are also 2 blocks of netherite. I get to work breaking the netherite and realize that I might accidentally drop them down the pillar if I'm not too careful. So I decided to make a magnet so that way I can suck it up just in case it falls. As I try to break the blocks, the Vindicators make it very obvious that I won't be getting them that easy. My allthemodium sword makes quick work of them, and I block off the hole so I can get the netherite in peace. If you think that those blocks of netherite was all that I came here for, you're in for a surprise. The real loot of this dungeon is not in these pillars. Underneath the town is a giant dungeon filled with tons of chests, guarded by tons of spawners that you'll have to fight through. For us to break our way in, we need to break our way down from outside the dungeon. As I dig down, I make sure to add the blocks to my dank so that way it gets picked up by my dank and keeps my inventory clean. I start digging my way towards the dungeon and see some wooden stairs. This was a good sign because that means that we found the library part of the dungeon. There was only one way to find out, so I bust through the roof and I make my way in. Just like I thought, we're in the library, and there are 4 chests right in the middle that you can land on and loot. These chests have tons of loot in them, and the best part is that they come with legendary armor. This loot chest had a pair of netherite pants, and it even came with instant health too when attacked. Unfortunately, it also had Curse of Vanishing. That wasn't going to work for me, so I quickly head to the next chest. This next chest had 30 diamonds and a ton of gold in it, as well as a new pair of boots for us. It also had allthemodium nuggets and tons of enchantments. I grab everything and check the next chest, hoping for a good piece of armor. And just as I'd hoped, it had a helmet with instant health on it. I grab out some of the other loot and realized that my inventory was getting pretty full and fast. I made some more room and grabbed the loot from the last chest. That's when I realized that I didn't bring my other backpack that we set up. So I headed back home and picked it up. Using /back, I returned to the dungeon to fill it up with as much loot as I could possibly find. Even with some good armor, this was still a very dangerous place to be in. Mobs spawn really fast, and we haven't found a new weapon to replace our sword with just yet. And these mobs were spawning way too fast for me to loot in peace. So I had to kill just as many as I could just to buy some time to loot. After grabbing everything from another chest, I head up to the top to fill up my hunger bar. Evokers were spawning, so I need to fly even further away so I could check out some of the loot I picked up. We did get some more netherite armor this time with instant health, but it came with a curse of binding. I didn't want a chance needing to take it off, so I put everything away and noticed that we got a totem of undying. I placed it in a charm slot to save some inventory space for more loot. Then it was time to check out the new sword that I got. This sword wasn't the strongest, but it had some amazing enchants and AoE damage, so I equip it and go back for some more loot. This sword was making quick work of everything that I hit with it, which made looting a lot easier. At this point, I just wanted to grab as much stuff from the chest as I could and fill up my backpack as quickly as I can. I find some more armor with instant health and throw it on, then back to fighting for more loot. Even with several pieces of instant health armor, the Vindicators were tearing through my health quickly. I get down to 2 hearts and I panic. I frantically try to fly away while eating to hopefully restore my health. Just when I thought I caught a break, I ran into another hallway with more Vindicators. After flying away a little bit more, my greed kinda got the best of me, and I stopped to loot 2 more chests. I get hit down to 1 heart and fly away as fast as I can through an opening in the wall. This led to the top of another library and gave me just enough time to heal back up and empty my inventory. I break my way through the top and get back to looting. It didn't take very long and our new diamond backpack was already full of loot. I make a little bit more room by converting the nuggets and ingots to blocks and make a journey for one last thing. Spawners. These were the most dangerous things to get here, but these spawners are super fast. We can use these later for mob farms, so I needed to get them. Using the cardboard boxes, I fly in and try to grab the first one as quick as I can. I managed to grab it and another easy one, but then it was time to grab some Vindicator spawners. Heading to a hallway, it was clear that this was going to be a battle that would never end. I quickly grabbed a spawner, then fought off as many Vindicators as I could with the few seconds that I had to spare. Even without the spawners, the mobs seemed to never end. I needed to get out. We almost didn't make it out, but thanks to using /home, we can now safely look at all of our loot. And man, did we get a lot of loot. I spent the next bit of that morning sorting through everything, and we ended up with a ton of ingots. We got so much allthemodium, about 40 blocks worth of diamonds, and more enchants than we can even use. But I have an idea to make something that can really use those enchants. And of course, if we want to do that, that means we're going to need to kill some more endermen. With these the upgraded spawners we got from the other, I used another Enderman spawn egg on it so we can have an even faster mob spawner for Enderman. Instead of farming everything I need from these, I'm going to show you a trick. First, I'll need to at least get 5 more Ender Pearls from the spawner. We also made a quick trip back to the other to kill a few more blazes because I needed some more rods. With all of this, the first thing that you'll need to make for this trick is called an Ender Inhibitor. This basically makes it where Endermen will stop teleporting around within a certain radius. Now, using those 5 Ender Pearls, we're going to make something called a small Enderman Gate Pearl. This will open up a portal and summon waves of Endermen. Each wave gives even more loot as well. And before we open this portal, I want to make the best weapon we can in the early game, Magic Bane. This weapon gets more damage with every enchantment it has on it. And man, do we have a lot of enchantments we can put on it. After going through and picking out books that mostly gave sword enchants, I use up all of my experience to make the sword as strong as I can. We got this thing to 31 hearts of damage with only 6 enchants on it. With our Ender Inhibitor ready to go, it was time to test this bad boy out using that Enderman Gate. The first wave was super easy, and we already got 12 Ender Pearls from it. The second wave goes down just as fast, but now we end up with 2 stacks of Ender Pearls and a ton of hearts. Wave 3 seemed to be a little bit harder, but it still didn't take much time at all. I easily cleared through waves 4 and 5, and it was time to take a look at how much loot we got. 4 stacks of Ender Pearls, 53 hearts, and a bunch of other things that I'm definitely throwing in the trash. I went ahead and converted all of the hearts into more pearls, which left us with more stacks than I really even needed. I place all of these pearls into a 2x2 drawer and get ready to make another gate pearl. But this time, it's going to be for blazes. For some reason, it actually took a little bit longer to kill the blazes. What was even more weird was at the end, I really didn't get much for loot at all. I knew I had looting on my magic, but wait, where is my Magic Bane? Maybe I'd put it up in a chest, but I couldn't find it. Not in my backpack either. Did I accidentally delete it? No way. I just couldn't find it. So I went back and I looked at my recordings. During the 3rd wave of the Enderman Gate, I realized what happened. That's okay, I guess. We'll just have to make another. There was only one problem. I converted all of the hearts that we need into Ender Pearls. That meant I needed to make another Enderman Gate, which I guess isn't so bad because I needed to get more experience anyway. Thankfully, my netherite sword was still pretty decent, and I finished up killing everything from the gate and got to work on making another Magic Bane. The first enchantment that I put on this was mending, so that way it wouldn't break as easily, hopefully. We didn't have enough experience this time around to put a ton of enchantments on it. We only got the damage up to like 20. Feeling ashamed of losing the first one, I decided it was probably better to just use the netherite sword until I could get more enchants for it. Just needed a little bit more experience, and I knew exactly where we were going to get it from. That will be for another episode as we end this one in the early hours of day 9. Listen, the day counter mod is messed up, and I'm just trying my best here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you're enjoying the series so far. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel, and man, we are getting so close to 10,000 subs. These past few weeks have been insane. I've also recently enabled channel memberships for those who want to go that extra mile for supporting, so it's there if you want to. If y'all have any questions at all, make sure to leave me a comment below. I try to reply to almost everybody who says something, so don't be shy if there's something that you want to tell me or maybe ask. You can also catch me live on Twitch almost every weekend at twitch.tv/AlfredGG. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, bye!